Welcome to the Transformations Training Module 1. My name is Chris Ashelford. I'm the Director of Training and Support. Our division is responsible for your certification and for supporting effective patient outcomes as a healthcare practitioner implementing the Transformations 360 program. As our byline says, one program, multiple health solutions. Transformations 360 program addresses not only weight management, but helps reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, reverses prediabetes, and addresses common conditions such as managing blood sugar, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and many other health conditions patients may be experiencing. Our training course will be presented in two modules. Module 1 will cover the T360 diet and how to get a patient to their ideal weight. Module 2 will cover the maintenance plan and will check for food intolerances and sensitivities, teach patients how to eat larger portion sizes without gaining weight, and provide them with their own individual eating plan to accomplish weight loss for life. This module will start once you have a patient finishing the T360 diet and transitioning into the maintenance plan. This is the course outline for Module 1, the T360 diet. We will begin with an introduction to the elements of the program, discuss the science behind the technology, show you how to place your patient on the program, understanding food choices, measuring success, expected results and outcomes, a few coaching tips, and the next steps. Let's begin with an introduction to some of the key elements of the program, in particular which patients can and cannot go on the program, as well as how to address certain supplements and medications. Here are a few contraindications to note. Your patient should not attempt to share this program with friends and family who are not under your professional care. If a patient has had surgery in the last 6 months, wait a complete 6 months before starting the T360 program. Patients should inform you of all medications they are currently taking. You can review their T360 application. Children 10 years and up can use the program. Children under the age of 18 do require adult approval and supervision. You should understand patients with a history of chronic conditions such as gout may have a flare-up, and you will need to understand these issues and use your clinical expertise in order to accommodate them. Your clinical considerations are important in all aspects of patient care when using our programs, and we depend on your expertise to follow all medical protocols. Remember, our statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and our products are not designed to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Patients should inform you if they are taking warfarin. Many commonly used medications interact with warfarin, as do some foods, particularly leaf vegetable foods or greens, since these typically contain large amounts of vitamin K, and its activity has to be monitored by blood testing for the international normalized ratio to ensure an adequate yet safe dose is taken. You may need to adjust the food selection with patients on warfarin and monitor them closely. If a patient becomes pregnant while on the program, simply move her into the Transformations 360 Sustainable Maintenance and Lifestyle Plan to ensure excellent nutrition throughout her pregnancy. You may need to do slight customizations for them depending on the foods they are craving or additional nutrient needs required. If a patient is breastfeeding, she may want to wait until she is ready to wean the baby off the breast, as the milk could diminish. Patients who are already diabetic, hypoglycemic, and/or have epilepsy are given chromium daily to support blood sugar levels. We use 200 micrograms of chromium 3 times per day with meals. Also, if you have a patient on a multivitamin containing this supplement, there is no need to add additional chromium. Because patients will be drinking more water than usual on the program, we like to use 99 milligrams of potassium with qualified patients, meaning that they are not on a medication that would interact with the potassium. Many of our practitioners like to use a mix of potassium, magnesium, and/or calcium, and that is absolutely fine for our program as well. You can continue with any other supplements you have the patient on, as long as they do not contain carbohydrates or fats. However, the 4 teaspoons of daily raw fat required for our program can be exchanged for fish oil capsules. Ketogenic diets have been used for years with epileptic patients. However, if you have not had the experience working with dietary changes in epileptic patients, it is advised that you do not use this program with them. Section 2. The science behind the T360 system. It is important to understand the science behind the program before we place the patient on this diet. The T360 diet successfully removes abnormal body fat, like abdominal fat, from patients while protecting lean muscle mass. This process, commonly known as dietary ketosis. Dietary ketosis, when used properly, ensures abnormal fat is used as an alternative source for glucose. Most other dietary ketosis plans are very low in carbohydrates and extremely high in fat and protein. Our patients will consume a balanced amount of healthy, unheated oils such as fish oils and extra virgin olive oil, as well as the recommended daily allowance of protein along with their carbohydrates. It is important to note that our program contains over triple the amount of the normal 20 daily grams of carbohydrates that other dietary ketosis plans offer. While most overweight people can lose weight, to lose fat requires dietary amendments that facilitate burning fat consistently. Many popular diet programs that offer low daily calorie intake, shakes, bars, or meal replacements, offer some fat loss but also many times cause some water and muscle loss. This process, coupled with years of yo-yo dieting, results in patients exhibiting smaller percentages of lean muscle mass, higher percentages of body fat, and left with no real understanding of balancing healthy foods and a new lifestyle. By introducing a mild state of dietary ketosis with our program, we are able to focus on healthy fat loss and better food habits. It is important to note that our plan is gluten-free and we encourage the consumption of in-season, fresh, locally grown, organic, non-genetically modified foods to all our patients. Our program can also be dairy-free by using our pea protein Diasnacks packets, and eliminating any dairy foods. Our program can therefore be vegan-friendly. We are now ready to discuss how to put a patient on the T360 diet. Our goal is to educate, energize, and empower each patient to never have a weight or prediabetes problem again. Before we begin, please be sure to have the following items in front of you: WICO coupons, application for joining the program, weigh and measurement form, Transformations 360 manual, Diasnacks packets, Keto Sticks box, food diary for male and female, a food scale, and the patient progress report. Are you WICO certified? If not, please go to www.wicoscore.com and enter the password HEALTH1 to review the training. You should have received the complimentary training and certification for our WICO technology and coupons to use with your initial patients. If you have not been certified, contact us immediately at 888-858-7296 so we can complete this step. We use WICO to establish a patient wellness score. It is like FICO for your credit, but for your wellness index. WICO stands for Wellness Index Condition Optimal. We use it to get the status of 15 functional health conditions for an indication of unhealthy markers and establish a baseline so we can identify other conditions when retested. Many practitioners have found the consultation on WICO to be a great way to sign up patients for the T360 program. By handing out the WICO coded coupons to have patients take their WICO test online, you can schedule them to come into the clinic for their consultation. This is where you will review their 15 functional health conditions and how the T360 program can offer them everything they need in order to correct any unhealthy markers. WICO is used with all patients at the start of our wellness program and is retaken on week 4 so you, the practitioner, can get to the underlying cause of what is going on with the still challenged biomarkers. Customized treatment plans will also begin at this time so we are sure the patient is supported where their body has weak links, or additional testing may be required for outstanding issues that cannot be corrected with lifestyle and dietary changes. Once the patient has been informed to complete the WICO test online, have them fill out the Transformations 360 Wellness Plan application. This application will gather information such as past, current medical history, all medications and supplements that the patient is on, and will enable you to approve or not approve the patient to start the program. You will find this form in your welcome email. In addition to the WICO score, you may wish to consider other tests such as blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, or full lab panels. Using a self-administered glucometer to measure blood sugar should be part of your intake process. We have a special form you can use to interest new patients who may want to have this test as part of their intake process. Many medical clinics, for example, also add a basic metabolic panel that consists of 8 tests offering important information about the current status of a person's kidneys, blood glucose level, electrolyte, and pH level. This can be added to the WICO score for a complete wellness offering. The additional lab testing is not mandatory. In addition, a more common approach is the simple blood sugar test. This should be part of your intake process and can be a self-administered fasting test with a glucometer in your office. Just have the patient do the test and read the results. Over 90 indicates the patient is tending toward risk and insulin resistance. Over 100 indicates a pre-diabetic condition, and above 125 is a diabetic condition. Record the patient's weight and measurements on the form. This form should have been sent to you in your welcome email. Here are some markers for measurements to record. Start at the neck marker using the Adam's apple for a marker. The arm marker is the upper bend of the arm. You can record both left and right arm measurements. Bust line marker, or you can skip this measurement, is across the bust line right at the bottom of the scapula. Waist marker is the belly button. Marker for hips is 6 inches down from the belly button. Left and right thigh marker is 6 inches up from the top of the kneecap. Record the weight and measurements on each patient visit. Measure where you are comfortable and use this guide to assist you with remembering markers each week. Ask the patients to wear the same weight and clothing each week for their visit and schedule them to come in around the same time, as we tend to weigh more in the afternoon than in the morning. Up until this point, staff members are able to complete all the weigh and measure forms. Now is when the practitioner will review the application with the patient to see if they are able to go onto the program and any specific medical history that needs to be monitored. Please open your patient manual to the mandatory prescribed daily habits on pages 11 and 12. Patients will consume or drink only foods and drinks offered in the manual. 4 Diasnacks packets per day, a dash of sea salt, Celtic salt, or light salt each day, but no table salt. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water each day. Create a salad dressing with 4 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil and 2 teaspoons of lemon or apple cider vinegar each day to pour over salad, vegetables, or homemade chicken or turkey patties. Approved oil is cold-pressed olive oil, vegetable oil, coconut oil, and sunflower oil. Fish oil may also be used. Have the patients only eat seated at a table. This means no eating in the car, in front of the television, on the go, or at a desk. Get patients to slow down while they eat and chew each bite of food until it is liquid before they swallow it. This life habit is hard to do unless you are doing nothing but conscious eating at a table. Ensure patients are having a regular bowel movement each day. If approved for exercise, patients should do some form of exercise for 30 minutes each day. Alcohol is not recommended while on the plan. Decaffeinated teas and decaffeinated coffee is permitted. Encourage patients to use their slowest day of the week for food preparation and prepare extra proteins like chicken, fish, and steak. These can be frozen into 60 or 120 gram portions for last-minute, easy meals. Wash and store lettuce, spinach, and other vegetables for quick access. Have patients prepare meals ahead of time. This way they cannot use the excuse, "I have no time." When eating out, avoid bread, dressings, sauces, and alcohol. Most restaurants offer lean fish, steak, chicken, salad, and vegetables, making it easy to stay on the plan. Just educate patients that most restaurants also serve 2 meals per plate, so you will not need to eat the entire serving. Record all the foods you consume on your daily journal. Have the patient calibrate the food scale using 7/4 in the tray. Turn the black dial at the back of the scale to make the reading 40 grams with the 7/4 in the tray. Portion sizes really matter on this plan. Consuming only the foods in this manual in the correct portion size for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is the only way to get the patient to achieve the required dietary ketosis state. The first 3 days are the most challenging for patients. They may start to eliminate toxins if they have a higher toxic load. This process may cause them to feel a little flu-like or like they have a cold. Ensure they are drinking all of the daily required water and get some extra rest if they need it. Patients are allowed 1 teaspoon of butter or oil to cook with per day. This amount should not be exceeded. Spray oils can also be used to coat a pan. Mrs. Dash and any herbs or spices can be used to flavor foods. Please turn back to page 8 in your manual. The Diasnacks packets, which are included in your kits, are boxed into 1-week quantities and are specially created to help support healthy blood sugar levels throughout the day, as well as provide an ample amount of carbohydrates and some nutrients. They are an important part of the modified ketogenic program and cannot be replaced with any other supplement. Along with your 3 meals per day, you will consume 4 Diasnacks packets per day, totaling 7 incoming sources of nutrition each day. On page 8, we have the Diasnack guidelines. Patients consume 4 Diasnacks packets per day. First Diasnacks packet consumed in the morning, with or before breakfast. Second packet will be consumed in between breakfast and lunch. The third packet consumed at 2 p.m. and the fourth packet consumed at 4 p.m. How to mix the Diasnacks packets. Mix in 2 to 3 ounces of water, add more water to your taste, and stir with a spoon or mix in a mixing bottle. No blender is needed. Diasnacks packets blend easy and are meant to be easily prepared at home, in the office, or on the go. Missing a Diasnacks packet: if you miss the first or second pack, double up on the third packet. If you miss the last packet, do not double up. Will patients need to use the Diasnacks packets forever? The answer is no. Once you are transitioned to the Transformations 360 Sustainable Maintenance Plan, you will be removed slowly from the Diasnacks packets as we increase your overall nutrition with other foods and bigger portions. If you would like to continue with the Diasnacks packets as replacement for unhealthy sugary snacks, however, you will always be able to purchase them through your healthcare practitioner. We will be turning back to page 7 now to explain to the patient how to use the Keto Sticks test strips, which are also included in your kit. Have the patient start testing on day 3 and every day thereafter while on the program, using first morning midstream urine capture. Some patients will go all 4 weeks and test negative, trace, small, or moderate, and that is fine as long as there is no hunger or food cravings come day 4. They are losing the right amount of weight each week, and they have good energy. We don't want to stress the patient on the stick reading and make them think they must be in the pink or ideal zones from the chart, when in reality the ketone will be produced in the body way before it will show up on the stick. They might be in dietary ketosis and the stick reads negative. We don't, however, want to have a patient above moderate. If your patient is burning fat at too fast of a pace, the weight loss could slow. Toxins could be released too quick for the body to clear, and your patient may lose some energy and not feel optimal. We have a practitioner guidelines document that will help you to correct imbalanced ketone readings. Now we are ready to move on to section 4, Understanding Food Choices. Please turn to page 13 to 26 in your manual. Here we will find sample meal plans, male and female food formulas, prescribed food lists, and prescribed drinks lists. Pages 13 to 19 offer 7 breakfast, lunch, and dinner options for male and female patients to choose from that follow the T360 diet formula, which allows the body to biochemically use excess fat for fuel, also known as ketosis. Here's a sample of a male and female breakfast. Serve fruit chilled with sliced eggs. Eggs can be substituted for any other approved proteins on page 22. Here is a sample male and female dinner. Cook chicken as desired, serve with vegetables and almonds sprinkled on the top. Chicken can be substituted for any of the approved proteins such as whitefish, steak, turkey, or organic tofu. As an alternative to using the recipes previously provided, you can create your own meals by using a list of proteins, vegetables, and fruits shown on pages 20 to 26. However, patients must consume according to the specific formula as shown on page 20 of the manual. This formula must be followed exactly for the body to use excess body fat for fuel. Here is the formula of how many portions of protein and carbohydrates can be consumed on a daily basis for men. 5 portions of protein and 25 portions of carbohydrates. The breakdown of how many portions can be consumed at breakfast, lunch, and dinner are 1 protein and 10 carbs for breakfast, 2 proteins and 10 carbs for lunch, 2 proteins and 5 carbs for dinner. Here is the formula of how many portions of protein and carbohydrates can be consumed on a daily basis for women. 4 portions of protein and 20 portions of carbohydrates. The breakdown is as follows: 1 protein and 5 carbs for breakfast, 1 protein and 10 carbs for lunch, 2 proteins and 5 carbs for dinner. Ensure you consume lean proteins without the skin, preferably organic and free range if possible. On pages 20 and 22 you will see examples of 1 portion of protein equals 60 grams or 2.2 ounces, unless otherwise noted. Pages 20 to 22 provide a list of approved proteins, including those for vegetarians and vegans and their weights. Our program works for vegetarians and vegans as well. On page 21 of the manual, you will see the vegetarian and vegan protein options they may choose from. We also have vegan Diasnacks packets available. They are made from organic pea protein. Some protein options must also be counted towards the daily allowed carbohydrate portions as well. For example, 100 grams of tofu counts as 1 portion of protein, but also counts as 1 portion of carb as well. It is important to note that most of the daily incoming carbohydrates should be from in-season fresh organic vegetables. The approved list for vegan and vegetarian proteins is on page 21 of the manual. There are many options for patients when it comes to vegetables. Encourage them to eat a variety of foods, as many patients tend to consume the same foods week after week, and this can leave them bored and discouraged with their food selection. For practitioners who believe in the health benefits of juicing, juice away. We don't mind at all if some of the vegetables are made into a veggie juice, as long as you stay within the prescribed formula for carbohydrates and vegetables on the plan. Fruits are limited to 1 portion per day unless otherwise directed by you. Type 1 diabetics normally do not consume fruit, and it is recommended that you do not suggest fruit to them while on this plan. If you are working with a type 2 diabetic who is having trouble achieving healthier blood sugar levels while on the plan, it is advisable to remove the fruit from the plan for them as well. The majority of the daily required carbohydrates should be consumed from fresh vegetables. Weigh all fruits raw in the food scale before consuming or cooking. Fresh or frozen fruits can be used. If frozen, unfreeze before weighing in the food scale. Eating fresh fruits in season and local is preferred. There are many drink options for patients on page 26. Try to eliminate caffeine out of the patient's diet. Slowly wean them off coffee, caffeinated teas, and sodas until they are free from them. We encourage week 2 as a good time to start coaching patients off of diet sodas or caffeine products. Please refer to your female food diary, and this is the part where you will learn the purpose of the food scale. Here's an example of a complete female food diary for one day. For breakfast, the patient can have 2 eggs, which equals 1 portion of protein, and the eggs also have 1 portion of carb. So they will also add 1 carbohydrate to their food diary. Next, we will show carbohydrates, and according to the formula on page 20, females are allowed 5 portions of carbohydrates for breakfast. We already have 1 carbohydrate from the egg, so now they have 4 more portions remaining. They may have 70 grams of tomatoes, which equals 4 portions of carbohydrates according to the chart on page 24. This will complete the female breakfast of 1 portion of protein and 5 portions of carbs. For lunch, a female is allowed 1 portion of protein and 10 portions of carbs. 60 grams of chicken equals 1 portion of protein, and then for their salad they can have 70 grams of spinach, which equals 4 portions of carbs, 40 grams of onion, which equals 2 portions of carbs, and 70 grams of tomatoes, which equals 4 portions of carbs, for a total of 10 portions of carbs. Then for dinner, a female is allowed 2 portions of protein and 5 portions of carbs. So 120 grams of steak equals the 2 portions of protein, and 85 grams of spinach equals the 5 portions of carbs. The male formula allows for an extra portion of protein and 5 extra portions of carbs for a total of 5 portions of protein and 25 portions of carbs. As an example, they can have 2 pieces of bacon for breakfast as the 1 portion of protein and 140 grams of avocado for a total of 10 grams of carbs at breakfast. Then at lunch, males are allowed 2 portions of protein and 10 carbs, and for dinner, 2 portions of protein and 5 portions of carbs. There is also a place at the bottom of this form for patients to keep track of the amount of water they are drinking, their 4 Diasnacks packets, daily oil and vinegar, daily ketone reading, along with any supplements or exercise they are doing. This is the most important information to explain to your patient when starting them on the program. By logging everything on this form, you will be able to see exactly how well each patient is following the program. In 30 minutes, you can show them how easy it is to create their own meals, following the formula and the foods listed on pages 22 to 26. If they prefer, they can follow the meal plans previously shown on pages 13 to 19 of the manual. With hundreds of thousands of successful patients, we know people will be excited with their results. If possible, use pictures and video to remind patients and motivate others of what can be accomplished with the Transformations 360 program. Here are some forms to measure and keep track of patients' results. Please refer to the patient progress report, which you can use to track your patient's success. Use this progress report chart for each visit with the patient. Additionally, it allows for clear communication between staff members if the patient happens to see a different support staff person for their follow-up visit. Just as a reminder, your patients will retake the WICO at the end of week 4 to allow you, the practitioner, to pinpoint the root cause of symptoms, the likelihood of food intolerances or sensitivities, nutritional deficiencies, any chronic conditions needing a more medical approach, and address symptoms that are lifestyle induced. For follow-up visits, along with the patient progress chart, you will also use the weigh and measure form for tracking the patient's success. The follow-up visits can be completed by an associate doctor, nurse, or staff member. Some patients may need to be seen weekly. On week 2, you will be able to catch any errors that are happening within the program prescribed rules and address any questions the patients may have. Also, it is imperative to make sure patients are not hungry, not having food cravings, and feel good while on the plan so they can continue and achieve their goals. We suggest retaking WICO in week 4 or later. This will depend on how long they will need to remain on the program in order to achieve their weight loss goals. It is important to understand what to expect from follow-up visits. After day 3 or 4, there should be no hunger, no food cravings, and patients should have great energy. Under 2% of reported patients go through a detox. Of course, these are the patients who have a high toxic load, and this load is better out of the body than in. Support patients going through a detox by ensuring they are having a regular bowel movement, they are well hydrated, they are not in a ketone reading above moderate. Detox symptoms lasting longer than 2 days may require additional support for the detox organs and pathways. Using homeopathy, herbs, or another method that you would use to support the detox process is fine. For patients on high blood pressure medication, take a weekly blood pressure reading and make a copy for your records as well as a copy for them to take to their primary doctor if that is not you, to have their medication adjusted on time. Otherwise, their blood pressure could go too low. For every 10% of body fat lost, the blood pressure will reduce approximately 7.7 mm's. It won't be as dramatic if genetic. High cholesterol patients on medication, every 4 weeks on the Transformations 360 program, have the patient tested to see if they are able to have their cholesterol medication reduced. Type 1 diabetics should already be in the habit of taking daily sugar levels, and there may be a need to have their medications reduced once on the plan, even though they are insulin dependent for life. Type 2 diabetics should also be taking daily readings and may also have their medications reduced once on the plan. It is extremely important to have patients use our blood sugar log to record their daily readings and bring it with them for clinic visits. Both of these logs are available for you to use. Please ask if you would like to use them. Now we will cover expected results and outcomes. For over a decade, we have seen the following statistics in our clinics. Males do not have hormone issues to deal with, therefore the weight loss will show more on the scale. Females over 50 years of age lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat each week. Females under 50 years of age lose 2 to 3 pounds of fat each week. Males will lose on average 3 to 5 pounds of fat each week. Always use on average or up to when explaining expected results to patients. If you are not getting these results with your patients, there are steps to follow to quickly resolve any challenges, and you should contact us right away. Week 1 is generally the largest weight loss week. Ever wonder how the people who are paid to look good in the entertainment industry do it? These are stats of patients from the motion picture industry clinic. Most have had great results, and they have maintained these results for over 2 years now. They can literally choose any program they want, but have selected this one because it is a lifestyle they can live with. Section 7 will review a few coaching tips. It is important to excite people on the possibilities of the T360 program because it is a very unique and different system to anything else they have been introduced to. Here are the key points to make. We have a 10-year track record of efficacy and safety, learning how to correct food habits for sustainable weight loss and blood sugar control, pinpointing the root cause of symptoms versus masking the problem, addressing the 15 functional health conditions that are at the core of why unhealthy markers exist, pinpointing any food intolerances or sensitivities that can affect weight and overall health. In addition to being on an elimination diet and losing weight, patients will have no hunger or cravings, as well as great mental alertness, energy, and sleep. Coaching and re-anchoring your patients with reasons why they started can be very helpful for them. Listen for key words or situations that will help identify the stressors in patients' lives. As you can see, there are some key words or feedback that we receive that do not require any further action steps, and some that show a red flag and we must start coaching, remotivating, and getting them anchored once again to the reason they started in the first place. Here are some coaching tips for patients who are traveling or going on vacation. Some patients will stick with the plan throughout their trip or event. Some patients can be transferred to more of a maintenance way of eating while on vacation. Some patients will want to eat and drink anything they want while on vacation or holidays because they are confident they can drop the pounds gained quickly. Get a firm commitment, though, for their next appointment after the event and to get back on the plan. If a patient comes in complaining of bad breath, have them chew on parsley and add a digestive enzyme to support digestion. If a patient is calling about the program stating they are vomiting after they take the oil, there is a possible gallbladder issue, and this complaint is often followed with a report of lower back pain. Determine if it is a gallbladder problem. Assist the gallbladder with a protocol that you feel is best to get back to optimal health. You can eliminate the oil for that day, cut oil to half the portion size the following day, and work back up to 4 teaspoons a day. If a patient is having leg cramps and states, "Every time I go on a diet I get leg cramps," give more salt that is approved for the program, magnesium phosphate, calcium phosphate, or iron phosphate. Dealing with headaches. If the headache is in the brow or temples area, this means possible low blood sugar. Ensure they are using chromium 200 micrograms 3 times per day with meals. You can also have them take a Diasnacks packet and ask them to call you back in a half hour to see if this alleviated the symptoms to ensure it is due to low blood sugar. When headaches are at the back of the head, this is normally from patients coming too quickly off of caffeine. Some of them will insist on coming off completely and take an over-the-counter pain reliever. Some patients may want to slowly decrease caffeine until they are free from it, avoiding severe symptoms. It is a well-known fact now that caffeine can affect blood sugar levels. Some patients will switch to decaf. Another option is to have the patient sip slowly a quarter cup of coffee mixed with a quarter cup of water to ease the headache for a few days until they are free from it, or have them switch to green tea. Using the same tea bag for 2 days will reduce the amount of caffeine and hopefully help them to avoid the withdrawal headache. Some patients may experience constipation, and it is important to get them on a good protocol of herbal remedies or another good protocol you prefer. It is important to make sure that patients have regular bowel movements as we place them on the T360 diet. If you have a patient experiencing constipation, please contact us for some guidelines. Thank you again for your time today. Again, my name is Chris Ashelford, Director of Training and Support. I will be contacting you to review your training and schedule you to complete Module 2, the Transformations 360 Sustainable Maintenance and Lifestyle Plan. If you have any immediate questions, you may contact me at the number shown, and I look forward to supporting you on this journey of creating wellness communities across the country. Be well.